Hi, and welcome to Audio and Acoustics with Norman Varney. Yesterday, the topic of flush-mounted speakers versus freestanding speakers came up. Freestanding meaning full-range floor-standing speakers or smaller monitors on stands. So let's talk about the pros of flush-mounting speakers. With flush mounting, there is no what's called speaker boundary interface response, SBIR, because of the fact that when the speaker is flush with the boundary, it becomes essentially an infinite baffle and there's no back wave. Another advantage is the fact that they are not taking any floor space. So they're out of the way. Another one is that they're out of sight. At least if it was a cinema on a false wall, you know, maybe behind the screen or to the side of the screen, they won't be seen, so they're out of sight. The cons for flush mount are that you're limited to the speaker type. It's going to have to be a sealed or closed back enclosure, like a horn or a bass reflex speaker, as long as it has a front firing port. And you're not going to be able to do anything tall, at least in a studio application. Behind a screen, you could use something tall, but then it would have to be an acoustically transparent screen. And those perforated screens still cause problems. Most of them that I've found sound best, you can EQ them, but they still sound best when they're about 6 inches behind the screen. Another con is that they're going to require some engineering regarding isolation of noise and vibrations from getting into the rest of the building. As well as if you're addressing that, you're probably building a blocking type of an enclosure, and that you're going to have to mitigate the resonances. And then the biggest one is you can't fine-tune the speaker setup to the room and for the listener, meaning that each speaker interacts differently with each room. And from a personal preference point of view, I'm talking about soundstage and intimacy, as well as spatial specificity and tonality. You can't play with a fixed position. You can't play with the separation. You can't play with the toe in. And you can't play with the toe down in a studio monitor situation. And that's going to have a lot to do with everything, because you're going to be playing with the time alignment and so forth. And then lastly, you're stuck with those speakers without doing some major remodeling for a change. So the conclusion is that the cons outweigh the pros. I want to be able to fine-tune and optimize that setup, and no modeling software is going to be able to compensate for the real-world variations that you encounter. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in more short videos on audio and acoustics, subscribe to this channel.